Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is November 28th, 2020, and this is the Flight Sim News. So, Greg over at Reflected Simulations is at it again with some cool stuff. He has released the F-14A livery mega pack. He goes on to say, I've been working on my favorite F-14A liveries for over a year now, putting several hundreds of hours into research and Photoshop work. I reworked most stencils, colors, roughness, weathering, looked at thousands of photos to make sure I get them right. Now that the A model has been released, please let me share them with you. Tomcats forever. And there's a link right here that leads you to them so you can download and install them for yourself. In addition, he goes on to talk about the Wolfpack. That's his Thunderbolt campaign. He goes, for my upcoming Wolfpack Thunderbolt campaign, I did not only use original combat reports, I also had a couple of great books that helped me recreate missions as accurately as possible. This one is my favorite. It's a day-to-day account of missions flown by the 56th Fighter Group. Plenty of details, a real treasure for mission makers like me. I really can't wait for its release. I assure you it's the most realistic environment you'll ever fly the 47 in. P.S. Yes, I'm also a flying jacket nut, and those 1942 pattern flying gloves got so dirty by actually flying in them. And that is the upcoming Wolfpack campaign that Greg was telling me about in that interview that I did with Greg a while ago. So that's pretty promising. I'm guessing it's getting pretty close to completion if he's talking about it again. I'll throw a link to his page here in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. Alright, so not only is the 1C Game Studios having another sale again on all of the Great Battles stuff, but now is a really good time to get your hands on the Cliffs of Dover Blitz Edition. It on Steam right now, it is $6.24. If you wanted to buy it with the awesome Desert Wings to Brook bundle, you're looking at $52.86. Definitely worth checking out. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. Okay, next up is the Iron Flag campaign development update from Baltic Dragon.
Hey guys, Baltic Dragon here. Today I want to show you something a little bit different than normal. Instead of a screenshot, I want to show you a little bit about the upcoming Iron Flag campaign. And the reason I cannot do a screenshot is that I want to do a screenshot of a script of a typical mission, but it's kind of long, and even if I flip my monitor on my screen vertically, it still wouldn't do the justice to the script, which was mostly written, as most of them are, by my good buddy Dowboy, who's a co-author of the campaign. And so I don't want to make it long, so just to show you of some things, here's the script we have, and here how it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and that's the typical mission. And this one you'll be doing the air-to-air refueling, ILS landing, and manual reversion training. So these are all the instructions. Some of them are out because they didn't turn out to be possible, or just we didn't need them. And it's still work in progress because we're still changing some stuff, especially with how the manual reversion works. It's not that easy to fly it, so we need to have a good set of instructions for that. Fortunately, we also had some real-life pilots that help us figure it out. So that's one thing. And then if you look at that script, what you also have is the number of voiceovers that go with it. So it's a little bit of a background how the process looks. These are all the voiceovers that are going into this mission. And yeah. Oh, and you also this.
So it gives you a little bit of background on what really goes into this in terms of all the files and the scripts and whatnot to put all of that voice work into a DCS campaign. Very cool stuff. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. Alright, Flight Simulator has had a pretty big update on the 24th. World Update 2, and from my understanding is I haven't looked at Flight Simulator in a while, but they've added a ton of new points of interest. About 4 new airports, but the points of interest list is just massive. Bixby Creek Bridge, United States National Arboretum, Biltmore Estate, Mount Rushmore, the White House in Washington, D.C., the Capitol, Colorado Heights Castle, Yosemite, El Capitan, Hoover Dam, Orville Dam, Alcatraz, Johnson Space Center in Houston, the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the Pearl Harbor Memorial Site. Just a massive list. Then it goes on to talk about performance and stability, some stuff for the planes, what they've done for the UI, what they've done for input. Pretty big update overall. I may have to jump back into Flight Simulator again soon and check it out for myself. I'll throw a link to this that you can check out in the video description. Now, in pretty big news for Flight Simulator, they had a developer Q&A the other day, and Drew Bolton had posted this up in the VR Aviators. Sim Update 2, currently scheduled for December 23rd, will include native VR support. That's fantastic news, and from what I understand, it's not a DLC or a paid add-on. It's just going to be a core feature, and anybody with a VR headset should be able to use this. It's not just for the Reverb G2 or the Rift or the Oculus 2, Quest 2 or anything. It sounds like it's going to be all of them. So that is fantastic news. And then the other thing I think that came out of this that I think Sergio had posted over at the Helisimmer is that helicopters are coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but not until 2022. Holy hell, that's a long time, I mean, I know it's almost 2021, but wow, that is a long wait. So it looks like I might have to jump back into Flight Simulator pretty soon. And some of the information I got from others in the industry is that it actually works very well in VR, and it should be pretty cool. So here's to December 23rd and VR support for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. While on the topic of VR, there is this thing that I happened upon. It's made by the BBC, and it's not a flight sim, but it's more of an adventure, I guess you could say. And it's called 1943 Berlin Blitz. And you are part of a crew on a Lancaster bomber during a raid over Berlin in World War II. And from what I've seen so far, it looks pretty kick-ass. And here's the great part, it's free. So I haven't jumped in to check it out yet, but I wanted to report on it, while I thought it was quite relevant. And after I check it out, I'll let you guys know what I think about it. But I mean, if you guys have a VR headset and you have Steam, it's free. So download it and check it out. But it looks pretty cool. When I saw this at first, I kind of thought of the Mighty Eighth, what they're doing with that, because that's supposed to be more of a game from Microprose than it is a sim. And maybe that's where they got their idea for this, because looking at this now, this has actually been out for a while. This has been out since October of 2018, so this VR thing is 2 years old, but I never saw it before, and I happened to find this somewhere else. I was like, I think this might be of interest to you guys, so I'll throw a link to this in the video description and you can check it out for yourself. So on the topic of the DCS Rising Squall campaign from Inverted that I was talking about over the past few news updates. Even Baltic Dragon has chimed in on his Facebook page and says, "Hey guys, today I'd like to share with you a very interesting project that will soon be released as a DLC campaign for DCS, Rising Squall." He says, "I have to admit that even though it is not my type of gameplay, as it is directed at more casual DCS players and strongly focused on storyline, very good one by the way, it is extremely well done with professional voiceovers, lots of plot twists, and very skillful scripting. Looking forward to its release." And as you know, Baltic Dragon, is like him and Greg from Reflected. Those are the superstars of DCS campaign creating. You know what I mean? Some would say that Baltic Dragon is the superstar of DCS campaign creating with his Raven 1 campaign and all the other work that he's done before that. But, I'm not trying to leave anybody else out. I think Greg does fantastic work at Reflected as well. And there's a few other guys out there. But, Baltic is probably the most recognized name in creating campaigns for DCS. And he is actually helping promote this by putting this on his Facebook page. I think that's pretty cool of him to do that. And again, it's a win-win for the entire community, because if something like this does well, it does bring new people into DCS, and it'll get, more people will want to do things hardcore after doing things more of a lighter fare, like with Rising Squall, and it's all good because it means more sales, and more sales means more funding for more future projects. So I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. And lastly, Star Wars Squadrons has put in a variety of different fixes and improvements. And being this is a holiday weekend, I really haven't played anything yet. I did update my game via Steam, and I have this update applied, but I have not checked it out yet. But version 3.0 update is out, and it's supposed to actually make VR perform better in general. And there's a way to, I guess, use a slider, from what it said, to manipulate the resolution and possibly tweak it a little better. In addition to this, if you happen to have it on, I think, a PS5 or one of the new Xboxes, they added like 4K 120 Hz support as well through this 3.0 update on the consoles. So it's pretty cool that they're putting all this time and effort into this game in general, because it's still only like a $40 game at full price, and right now it is still 40% off at like $23 on the PC. And the console guys have it even better, because you can get this on the Xbox or the PlayStation platform right now, I think at GameStop for like $17, which is just an insane value. I'm almost tempted to get it for my Xbox. I know, I can hear everybody hissing right now, but I think it would look pretty cool on a 70-inch 4K TV versus my big monitor. And I'm still not that impressed, with the performance in VR that I had before. Unless this update really, really addresses it, I'll let you know. But I'm going to have to jump in there and try it out. But as a game in general, I've really enjoyed the hell out of it, just playing it on the flat 2D panel with the gamepad, That's it for the Flight Sim News. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys.